A Neanderthal woman pulls a chunk of mammoth meat out of a pit. It has been buried for 3 weeks. It is slimy. It is grey-green. It smells like death, and she eats it on purpose. This was not desperation. This was not an accident. This was the plan. Ancient humans rotted their meat deliberately, systematically, all over the world. Across nearly every continent, archaeologists found evidence. Humans buried, soaked or fermented meat for weeks before eating it. The Inuit made kiviak, a whole seal, stuffed with hundreds of seabirds, sewn shut and buried under rocks for 7 months, packed under heavy stone. Icelanders made hakal, Greenland shark, fermented underground for 5 months. Indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest made stinkheads, salmon heads buried in pits for weeks. Even the Romans made garum, fish guts fermented in the sun for up to 9 months. This is not a niche thing. It is a near universal human behavior. So why would anyone do this? Here is the thing. Fresh meat. It is tough. Muscle fibers are locked together by collagen. A fresh thigh of deer can take 6 hours of chewing. But more importantly, fresh meat is nutritionally incomplete. Muscle is mostly protein, almost no vitamin C, almost no usable B12. And here is the killer. Humans cannot survive on lean protein alone. Eat nothing but lean meat for 3 weeks. And you get rabbit starvation, protein poisoning, kidney failure, death. Captain John Ray nearly died of it in the Arctic in 1854. Members of the Lewis and Clark expedition got sick on lean elk. The explorer Vilhjálmur Stefansson wrote about it in 1928. Lean fresh meat is a slow killer. Now watch what happens when meat sits. Bacteria and enzymes start breaking down the structure. Collagen, that tough connective tissue, dissolves into gelatin. Long protein chains break apart into free amino acids. Instantly absorbable, no digestion needed. Bacteria produce B vitamins, folate, riboflavin, B12. Enzymes split fats into shorter chains. Your gut can absorb them without bile. The meat becomes softer, sweeter, and 10 times more bioavailable. This is fermentation, and it is why your favorite foods taste the way they do. The Maillard reaction, the same browning that makes seared steak delicious. It also happens during fermentation, but slower and deeper. That umami flavor you love, it is the taste of controlled decomposition. Glutamate, the chemical that makes things savory, is what proteins break into when they rot. Parmesan cheese, soy sauce, fish sauce, aged steak, blue cheese, kimchi. These are all controlled rot. You already love rotten food. You just do not call it that. But here is the question. Why did they not die of food poisoning? 2 reasons. First, they did not rot meat in warm, open air. They buried it underground. At 40 degrees Fahrenheit, the dangerous bacteria, Salmonella, E. coli, cannot grow well. The bacteria that do grow are anaerobic. They thrive without oxygen. These are mostly Lactobacillus and Clostridium, the same ones in yogurt and sauerkraut. They produce lactic acid, which pickles the meat and kills off competing pathogens. Second, the human gut evolved with this stuff. Our ancestors had brutal stomach acid, 2 to 3 times stronger than other primates, around pH 1.5. That is battery acid, strong enough to dissolve a coin. It is not for fresh fruit. It is for partially rotted meat. We are biologically engineered to be scavengers. Then something changed. Refrigeration, pasteurization, the germ theory of disease. By the early 1900s, fresh became synonymous with safe. And we forgot. We forgot that the gut microbiome thrives on fermented food. We forgot that the most nutrient-dense way to eat meat is to age it. Modern industrial meat is killed, chilled, shrink-wrapped, and on your plate within 72 hours. It is, biologically speaking, the worst version of meat humans have ever eaten. It is tough. It is nutritionally poor compared to aged meat. It lacks any microbial benefit. And we eat 3 times as much of it as our ancestors did. Inflammatory bowel disease rates exploded after 1950. Autoimmune disorders, allergies, all climbing. In the same decades, refrigeration spread across the globe. Correlation is not causation. But it is a hell of a coincidence. Here is the twist. High-end steakhouses charge $200 for dry-aged ribeye. Aged 45 days, sometimes 90. It is covered in mold. Black, fuzzy, controlled rot. The chef trims off the crust and serves you the inside. That meat is more tender, more flavorful, and arguably more nutritious than the plain steak next to it. Fresh versus aged. We pay a premium for what our ancestors did with a hole in the ground. For 300,000 years, humans were rot eaters. We had stomachs built for it, guts populated by the microbes of decay, tongues built for the taste of decay. Craved it. Then we built fridges, and we called it progress. We did not stop eating rotten meat because it was dangerous. We just stopped knowing what it was.